Hi friends, and welcome back to AmandaMuse. So today I wanted to share with you a couple of the things that I like to do when I take me time. So my self-care preferences and kind of how I work those into the day. Because let's be honest, when I am, creating content for the internet and parenting and trying to be a human being and just like get life done, there isn't a lot of free time to just like, I'm gonna take the next 2 hours and do this. So here's what I've been doing lately. Now, if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing. I put out videos 3 times a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Okay, let's jump into it. I think the biggest thing that I've added to my routine lately is exercise. I've been going on and going on about exercise now. I go in and out of waves of like wanting to work out and then wanting to be like a solid couch potato. So it comes in waves. I'm feeling it though. I just recently joined a new workout program, which involves like resistance bands and it's like yoga on steroids and it's really fun. And a couple of things that I like about it is it has this like community element. So it's, I attend a class at a studio. I like that it has an app where you have to commit to the class and then you have to check in when you're there. That does something to your brain. It it makes you commit and go. And I've gone a bunch. So certainly it's like 3 to 4 times a week. I've been enjoying going. The classes are about an hour long and it's really fun. And it's just like this 1 hour where I don't think about anything but the workout. Some of the workouts are really hard and so it just requires all of my attention. I have been sleeping better. I've been in a much better mood and I'm seeing a difference. My clothes are fitting me better. I don't actually own a scale in my house. I try not to think about the weight, the number itself, but rather like how my body is feeling, how clothes are fitting my body. So that's been something I'm doing and I freaking love it. Another thing I like to do, which is very visual, and you guys know this about me, I love to change my hair and I occasionally like to get manicures, although I'm in desperate need for one. This is not cute. So with the hair, I have an amazing hairstylist that I work with, Courtney. Her Instagram, I will leave it below. And she and I have been working together for a few years now and I trust her with my hair and that's a big deal. We have done all sorts of colors, pink, red, blonde like this, long, short, pixie, like all kinds of things. And I will have a big change coming soon. I think I was mentioning in my last Q&A, you can catch that up here, but it's either going to be like lavender or an icy blue gray. I haven't quite decided. We're going to see. It's all about like complexion and eye color and all of that stuff. So expect a change there. But ultimately, I'm going back to dark and I'm growing my hair out until I get bored and change it again. But I have a lot of fun just taking the time to play with my outward appearance. And that's something that I like to do. I'm not very wild with makeup. I do bust out a bold lip every now and then, but hair is really my thing. You can see I've kind of added a bunch of curls today because as you grow out a pixie, you need to be creative. So we'll see how this goes. But like this dark color is all my natural and I'm looking at bringing that back in a stronger way. So that's something new there. And with the manicures, I'll tell you this much. I like to get shellac on my toes. So I did get a pedicure the other day and a mani. Shellac on the toes, I find that it lasts a nice long time and I don't have to get a new pedicure as often. However, with the nails, the hands, I was doing shellac manis most of last year, or like earlier this year, I should say. No, last year, last year. And I like them. However, what I did notice is it was damaging my nails. The places where I like to go, sometimes they will buff with like like as if you're like sanding your nails, your natural nail down, and no, I'm not into it anymore. So I got the regular manicure and it lasts, like this has been about 10 days or so, and I need to change it. But what I like about this is I can take the nail polish off at home and redo it. So I'm gonna see if I can start to make that a habit and start to carve out some time to just do a manicure, let's say on a Sunday night. My weeks are kind of flowing where that could be a possibility. I've never really made time for that in a long time. So that's something I'm looking to add to, the routine. You guys know I'm a huge fan of podcasts. So if I'm preparing dinner or folding laundry or just doing something that's like a task where, I could be listening to a podcast, sorting the garbage, taking the garbage out, like whatever it is, I will likely have a podcast on the go. So there's a couple podcasts that I've been enjoying and I will share those with you now. I am in Canada and I do like to get the news every now and then, but I want it in short doses and like fire it at me. And so what I've been listening to is CBC News World Report. I like it. It's got a Canadian spin on world news. I find sometimes, and no disrespect, but sometimes when I listen to American-based news forums or whatever it is, channels, you name it, it's heavy American news, which is important. I'm definitely interested in what's going on in the US, as we are very close proximity-wise, and so naturally things that happen in the US affect us. But I do like to know also what's going on in Canada. So that's something I like, and I find the podcasts are like, you know, 10 to 15 minutes max, which is like as I'm getting ready. It's like the perfect thing. I just play it on my phone with my Bluetooth speaker in the bathroom as I'm getting ready, and I'll listen to it. I also like from NPR, there's two, Up First, which is a really good news-based podcast. However, it's heavy on the American news, but that's okay. Like I said, I like to hear it. And then just for fun, I really like this podcast called Ask Me Another. And it is essentially, and I couldn't imagine how they would have done this until I started listening, but it's a game show, like a like a radio game show. And the host is amazing. She's actually from Canada. I think it's based out of New York. It is such a fun show to listen to. I feel like I learn all this amazing trivia, and there's some really smart people in the world. I could never go on that show, but I like to listen to it, and those are about an hour long. I like the way they divvy up the content. Another podcast I like is Sex with Emily. I think she really pushes boundaries, talking about sexual health and emotional health around sex and how we look at things, and just, I really like some of the conversations, and she is bubbly as ever. It's a really fun podcast. There's a bunch that I've listened to, but I haven't listened to lately. There was like Missing Richard Simmons, or Richard Simmons is Missing. There was the one about that cult. I really liked that one. But those are the ones I'm listening to right now. And there's some amazing styles of podcasts out there. And just so you know, I'm still working on my podcast. It's in the works. It's not ready yet, but eventually when I have more news, I will share it with you. But it's coming. I hate to tease it like that, but it's coming. And something else that kind of falls into self-care for me is watching how I'm eating food and what I'm eating. I'm not a big snacker, which is good and bad, because, you know, I'll sometimes eat too much in one meal because I don't know, I just don't think to snack. I get lazy is really what it comes down to. But I am back into smoothie land, and you guys know that if you're on Instagram watching my stories regularly, my favorite has been the date, walnut, banana, almond milk or oat milk mix. It's like my favorite. Oh my God, that is my kind of sweetness. I love dates, like love them. So I've been enjoying those almost daily. And I've been eating a lot of avocados, like avocado toast, and yeah, just like getting back into ordering salads and like being aware of the vegetables I'm getting into my diet. So that's been really fun. I would love to know, what do you guys do for self-care? Let me know in the comments below. I find your ideas actually help me figure out other things that I could be doing, because sometimes I don't even, you know, I can't do everything and I don't have all the ideas. And I really appreciate your insights. Have yourself a wonderful weekend. I hope you have a good one. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you on Monday. Bye guys.